Good
Hey, Curtis.
afternoon, and welcome to another episode of Sweet 915. I'm your host, Curtis Smith, and I have the return of my co host.
It's me, Fedora. Hey,
It's me,
Curtis. How
Fedora.
are you?
Hey, Fedora, how you doing? Welcome back.
I'm
Welcome
good.
back. You got your
Thank
summer
you.
vacation in. Well, it's not summer yet. It's getting there.
Mm-mm.
And we both
Almost.
celebrated birthdays this month, Aries.
Yes.
So happy birthday to you. I didn't get a chance to
Happy
hang out
birthday
with
to
you,
you.
but
Hmm.
I hope you had a good time.
I did.
I know
I
I
did.
did. I'm detoxing right now. Detoxing.
Oh, goodness.
But we're gonna have a good show today. You missed the last show, but this show right here
Hmm.
is gonna be very interesting. I brought some old school and some new school. All right.
Okay.
So hopefully we
All
can
right.
have fun with it and do what we do.
All
All
right.
right. So let's bring them on if we can.
Who do we have?
Hello.
Hi.
Miss
Hi.
Raja Janae Petty Smith
Yes.
and Mr. Roland Robinson. Welcome to the
Hello, good
show. Welcome to the
afternoon.
show.
Thank
Roland,
you
you
for
there yet?
having me.
There you go. Roland.
Afternoon. How's everybody today?
Great.
Good.
How are you doing this Sunday?
Good.
Everybody's good. Everybody's good. But hey, we want to thank y'all for coming on the show. Um, and this is like a continuation from what we talked about previously about generational dating. And like I said, like I told Fedora, we got some old school and we got some new school. And we have different ways of dating and looking for what we look for when it comes to dating. And we just want to know from your perspective uh, about the type of dating that goes on, and be feel free with it. And so, if we want to get started,
All right. So, first,
so first and foremost, we'll start with the lady first. Miss Roger, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, like you said, my name is Raja. I was raised in Fayetteville, military family, so we moved around a lot. So I got different experiences to kind of speak to be my testimony today in different areas. Love people, love writing, love anything involving inclusivity and figuring out the nitty gritty with people. So I'm definitely all for this conversation.
great.
Wow. All right. So, good evening,
Mr.
everybody. I'm
Roland?
rolling. All right. I'm rolling. Like I said, I'm rolling. Resident El Paso on and off for many years, about over 20, 25 years. Retired military, divorcee with 3 kids. Active in the community. At least I try to be. And can't I got to caveat this by saying I ain't been doing a lot of dating, but I'll give you my perspective on what I see and what I think. So, maybe you get
Okay.
a viewpoint of being like an elder statesman. That don't mean I know anything. So glad to be on.
All right. Good. Opinions are welcome here.
All right. Thank you. Yes.
So,
No topic
the
is
date.
taboo here on
Uh huh.
Suite 915. So
So, I'll go first, Curtis.
go
So,
ahead, Miss
on the
Fedora. I'm
dating.
gonna let you start it today. Mhm.
All right. So either one of you who wants to start off, we'll stick with ladies first if you like. How would you describe the new dating scene compared to the past? And what are your expectations when it comes to dating presently today?
It's a loaded question, but
Mm,
as far as I'd say biggest differences are just valuing things differently. I feel like even then, it's still a little bit deeper than that. Yeah, the older generation may have valued things like communication and loyalty, and if it's broken, that implies that something's fixable. A lot of that lacks in the newer generation. Um,
mhm.
but I still think it's kind of a fine line because older generation had a lot of not good habits when it came to relationship because it was taboo to always divorce or part. So I still feel like it's kind of a funny line between what's the difference and if it's a bad difference per se. Um, and then as far as expectations, you kind of just with today, you it's sad to say you expect the bare minimum. And when you get that, you're over the moon because nobody values things like communication or loyalty or the respect or that type of aspect. So it's kind of hit or miss in this day and age.
Mm, okay. What would you say, Roland?
Well,
If you
I
have
would,
a
I would kind of say, technology with technology, technology, greater impact on dating. Uh, between the older, newer generation, I think there's a lot of detachment, not a lot of in-person communication going on because that phone plays a lot in your relationship, and often that detachment there, I don't think in this day and age with that technology, I don't think you really like connected to people. Takes a while to get there. And as far as expectations, I think and probably like a cliche, and people probably say, I hear this all the time, but communication, and I think communication a lot about listening too. Not just talk, but listen. Kind of really get to understand people, where they're coming from, their perspectives, you know. Um, so, you know,
so it sounds like it's a little superficial um dating, and like you say, Raja, it's hit or miss. So it's just like trying to find that diamond in the rough. Um and I don't know if men would say the same about women. Um I'm sure. Um I hear a lot they want what's real.
Mhm.
Um, and I think when they say real, they mean the superficial, the outward, right? Not really looking inward, what's real. Like you said, loyalty, being able to be uh, emotionally stable, so to speak, and know your own emotions, and taking care of yourself as an individual, being able to add another person to your environment, to your lifestyle, wherein your lifestyle is stable. So it's a lot of instability out in the dating world. So what I hear is when you connect or try to connect to another individual, they're not stable. They may not have all their stuff together at a certain age that they are. And when you have your stuff together, either male or female, and you come in contact with someone who doesn't, it's kind of unstable. And you're like helping or teaching, and you're not looking to be a parent, you're looking to be a partner. So
yeah, and that's that's kind of go with the what you said about being real. I don't really think a lot of people want you to be real.
mm,
I mean, and I say that from a standpoint. I don't think you know they want to actually hear what you're saying, or what you're bringing to the table and what your expectations are. Uh, you there's this idea, men and women alike. We put this you know grade A appearance on when we're out. We like dolled up, we dressed up, we put on our best face, and we're masking, who we really are. And then when you come across somebody who just, want to be, real and want to talk to you, want to, learn issues and get to know by it, I think that kind of frightens people sometimes.
Right. When people say real, I think they already kind of have a image in mind of what their real is. It's not necessarily like the rawness of the person, how they are as is. It's, oh, real is whatever the trend is right now for a girl or a guy to be real. That's what I'm looking for.
mhm.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Okay.
So what are you
So what
looking for
about
in a
the approach?
oh, you lagging, Curtis. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I said, what about the approach when we're talking about when we're talking about the relationship or the dating scene, the approach? What about the approach? Like Roland said, the internet, and Roger said the perception of wanting, but not necessarily putting in the effort.
Mm.
When we talk about the approach, what are you looking for in the approach? And I want to start with Roger for when you talk about the approach. Somebody is trying to ask you out on a date. I mean, like you said, it's different. You know what I'm saying?
I
But
mean,
what about the
honestly,
approach? What are you
you
looking
know,
for?
you
What is
we like to
acceptable to you?
think right. We all think we can read somebody pretty good. First off, see them, judge a book by its cover. But sometimes it's not like that with everybody. Sometimes you got to just kind of, okay, I'll test it, see how it goes. But as far as the approach, I can tell you don'ts for sure. And it's all a matter of preference, really. Like what turns you on and what turns you off. Me, I don't like the showboaty, flashy, because you don't have to do all of that for me. That doesn't grab my
Right.
attention, but that isn't to say that wouldn't work for the next person either. You know what I mean? Some people like that. That's how you get their attention. That turns their eye to you, but it's kind of a hard one to answer because it's more of a preferential thing. Um, Now, I could say within an approach, I like consistency. If I feel like you approached me and it was kind of just soft, like, oh,
Okay.
okay, we'll see how it goes and stuff like that, and then you just kind of fall off the face of the earth, naturally you kind of assume, okay, either you weren't serious, it was a heat of the moment, maybe a dude watching and you wanted to come and, see if you can get a number in front of them, or, you know, they thought they liked you, might have said something, they didn't, so they fell back. I don't know. My biggest thing as far as approach is consistency. If you genuinely like me and want to get to know me, you're going to be consistent in trying to do so.
Yeah, and I think there's
No.
always, when you're out in that scene. I mean, there's people have, their ideas of what you're after. Okay, why is that person talking to me? What and I think I like to take the approach of just getting to know people, just talking to them. Hey, how's your day? What's going on? What do you like? What do you dislike?
Genuine.
Yeah, I mean, and exactly. And I think a lot of times I go back to about what being real, and I see that there's a large scene out there that they're, oh, you know what, that's corny. Why are you coming up? But that's just being open and being, first you want to develop a friendship. First you just want to talk to the person. You want to know if you're compatible. You want to know, do you like, what do you like? What do I like? And getting to that point, it's kind of like, I kind of feel like there's a barrier because everybody has that wall. So you got to talk and get that wall to come down so you can get to know that person. Not immediately just start about, yep, I want to date her. Oh, yep, we doing this. And I guess from an old school standpoint, and it probably was the same. I won't say that we're different, but I mean, you get to a point in your life where you approach things different, and how do you look at relationships and how you, interact with people.
Mhm. So I'll ask, what are you looking for in a partner nowadays? You personally, or you can go generalizations, but it's preference again.
I mean,
You
in
know,
this
yeah,
day and age, it is the bare minimum. Unfortunately, it is the communication, it is the loyalty, it is the you genuinely care about my feelings, right? I feel like that as much as it sucks to say, it's hard to come by. A lot of people, which in certain situations is not a horrible thing, they place themselves above all else. Forget your feelings. If my feelings are good, well. But I feel like a lot of people don't value, if you're in a relationship, you want to be with that person, you have to be considerate.
Mhm.
Consideration goes way beyond people's heads nowadays. And it's a
Hmm.
yeah,
simple
and I think we live in in a society now. We live in an instant gratification. We want it
Mhm.
now,
yes,
now, now.
yes.
You know,
Mhm.
rather than working and developing that. And just really, like Raji was saying, appreciate me for who I am. Appreciate me for who I am. Pay
Mhm.
attention to those things that are important to me, and then vice versa.
It's very easy for people to give up nowadays. I feel like, don't get me wrong, I'm not one of those that advocates stay in a relationship that you clearly see isn't working for you. But I feel like a lot of the times too, people mix that up with maybe this is just a hunt we need to get through. We're still getting to know each other. We're still, you know what I mean? Like everything isn't always going to be the honeymoon phase of things. And it's okay to go through things and overcome them. But this day and age, you hit not even a wall, you just hit the most minor anthill, and it's, oh, I'm washing my hands with it. I'm over it. It's too much. I can't take it. You know, so I feel like that's also a big problem with what dating scene nowadays.
And I think we need to identify, you know, and I can say this from my own personal experience. I think we you know, we need to start identifying those red flags. We see them, they come up, but depending on that feeling and how you view the person, you know, that'll change. It's not
They
gonna
say
be.
love is blind. They, you
Yeah,
know,
exactly.
they're gonna
But,
overlook it when you
you
really
know,
want that person to be that person. You know, you know.
it takes a few hard knocks for you to start realizing, you know what, that was a red light a long time ago. Maybe I need to stop, you know. So
Exactly. And a lot of toxic relationships or a lot of toxic behavior continues within relationships. And I think also, because I'm married now, remarried, but when I was on the dating scene, I found that unfortunately it was a lot of just garbage. Like I hate
Sometimes
to
you
say,
gotta call it for what it is.
yeah, like
Wow,
I just gotta
Fedora,
keep
just
it
like
real.
that.
It was like,
I
yeah,
like
it
to
was
give
like a
people the
lot of
benefit of the
trash.
doubt, and I'm like, there's, you know, some good people out there, some
Yeah,
hopeless
but
romantics out there, but we
yeah,
generalizing. Oh, it's trash.
yeah, yeah, it's
just keep
bad.
it real, huh?
And I feel sorry. I'm thankful I found my diamond,
She said,
right? My
I'm good.
king in the rough. But it was rough, right? It was prayer. It was,
And seen some things outside, huh?
yes, yes. It was like I'm leaving the playground. I'm going home and
Done.
I'm chilling. But
Well, you
yeah,
know, they say one person's trash is another person's treasure.
They
that
do.
part, that
They
part.
do.
But yeah, and what I see a lot of is people not really knowing their non-negotiables, and
Okay.
so they don't know. So when they're faced with certain things, they don't know their own non-negotiables. So they're like, "Oh, did that just happen?" Or they can't see what just happened. It's like you say, love is blind, but a lot of times it's not love. It's I don't know what I deserve.
Right.
So I don't know how to identify when someone is putting me down, someone is condescending me, someone is making me feel like crap over a few words. Or am I crazy? Like, I just brought this to this person, but they're now twisting it and turning it back on me. Like, and then you start to second guess yourself. So when you are in a relationship, you have to know who you are going into the relationship. You need to be, I won't say not that you have everything together. No, none of us have everything together, but you are at a point where you want a relationship. You're emotionally available to allow someone else into your space or into your
Know
day
what
to
you
day.
want and know your boundaries.
There you go. There you go. Because without knowing that, you could just take anything and accept anything, and
Right.
there you have
People end
toxic
up settling
relationships.
too. You know, a lot of people end up
Mhm.
settling, you know. Oh, you know, I'm tired. I can't find that person. This is the closest, and I'm just gonna,
Or this is all I know, so I'm sticking with it. You know,
yeah.
people got a bad habit, and you know, to touch on the old
So
generation,
what's
new generation
non-negotiable?
boundaries. That's
Your
basically
boundaries.
non-negotiables. Yeah.
Yes.
I mean,
Yeah.
those are unique to each individual. You know, what I might feel like is a boundary for me, you might be like, that doesn't
That's
bother me,
cool.
so it's not a
Mhm,
boundary for you.
mhm. Yeah.
Yeah.
And everybody
But
should have
understanding
men
that,
and women.
understanding those boundaries, understand, you know, first of all, you got to understand your boundaries and then accept other people's boundaries
That's
and
where
whether
being
or not they're
considerate
important.
and
Yeah. whether or not they're
caring.
important to you, you gotta acknowledge the fact that they're important to your significant other and respect those boundaries.
Yep, and
Yep.
respect them.
Yep. Because if a partner says, "Okay, I'm really keen
So
on my space. I really like," and this other person might need a text every day, or may have a boundary where in my relationships I want to speak to my partner every day. The other one's like, okay, I don't have to speak to you every day. Like, I need my space. So therefore you have to come to the table, have an intelligent conversation, and come to that's a conflict resolution. Come to a resolution in the middle where both of you are comfortable with, where it's agreeable, and then you move forward.
And I feel like a big part of the dating scene, especially with this new generation, is we don't set expectations or have these type of conversations, especially in the beginning.
of
They like
course.
to fall in love in a whirlwind romance, move in together, have 10 kids, and then they want to be like, you want to be my girlfriend? You know
Exactly.
what I mean?
It's
Like
backward.
they skip all of that.
Oh, yeah.
The important, substance
Yeah.
in between the
Mhm.
back,
actual running off and stuff and having the shotgun wedding. But
Mhm.
back to
it,
Right.
that instant gratification, back to that
Yeah.
it all comes
yeah.
full circle. Yep.
Mhm. And
Mm.
it's like it's backwards, like you say, Roger. It's backwards because we don't in the dating time, because we all meet the representative in the beginning, right? Everybody's on their best behavior, right? So during this time, you need to give yourself enough time if this person is worth being together for a long period of time. You need to give enough of that time so you actually meet the actual person first off,
Hmm.
and then you need to ask the hard questions, right? And you need to feel comfortable asking those hard questions, and having a safe space, being able to be vulnerable, ask, and know that you're getting an answer that is true, for that person who's answering. So
And it's
it's
authentic. I'm not just telling you
yes,
what you hear.
want to hear exactly.
So I recently started a new job, right? And part of it was a probationary period. And maybe we
Mm,
should look at that in our relationships because when you start a new job, you're on your best behavior, you're all
yep.
nice to people, everything is going great, right?
Once your
But you
90 days is up, we can,
yeah,
we
exactly. And then
promise.
when you get past that probationary period, now you want to act ugly.
In
You
90
gotta
days.
Yeah, it's true.
you gotta tell them, look, you're on probation now, so we're gonna swear.
I mean, and it goes both ways, right? It
Wow.
goes both
I
ways.
mean, but when
So
you think about it, technically, that is what dating is really supposed to be. It's
yeah,
just dating has gotten so twisted
it
to
has.
where we are now that people don't even think like that anymore. Dating means
Hmm.
we're living together and we're, you know what I mean? We're living
Yep.
boyfriend, girlfriend, you know what I mean? That's dating.
Hmm.
And I'm like, no, honey,
Mm-mm.
you in a whole relationship. That's,
Hmm.
you like this with that person. So
Yeah.
we skip a lot of that and miss the actual communication, miss the big talks, and then too far down in the line when now we're stuck with each other in more ways than one. Now we're
Hmm.
having these conversations and finding out about each other and probably finding out we might not really actually like each other.
Exactly. Exactly.
And then to think about it, I mean, what we see in, our social media, what we see on television, I go back to my 90210 there in Beverly Hills. All the kids are in the mansion, and then you see them, oh, we've been together for 5 years, but you only see a snippet in their time that they've been together. See, you're like, oh man, that's great. That's what it's supposed to be like. That's what a relationship is. So,
Mm.
there's unrealistic expectations from, and not just my generation, from all generation. I think tech goes back to technology and what we see because we only see the best part. You know,
Hmm.
we see the. I've been through all of this, turbulence all these years, and I'm happy now. I'm great to go. But that's what you see. But you really don't know, how that person got there,
You're right.
what
And
they
that's why
went
I tell
through.
people you can't base your life, let alone your whole relationship, off what you see on social media. People present all their life to be glamorous, problem free. We don't argue. There's no issue. They're always going to present the
The
good.
best.
They're not gonna want people to see the bad.
ugly.
Mm-mm,
Mhm,
no.
mhm. Yeah. So, you kind of segue into it. Um, how has social media and technology impacted the way people date these days? And how is it best to kind of navigate this new landscape? Because it seems like people are in whole relationships off of a text, and I'm like, wait a minute, you haven't met this person? Like,
Don't
how are
know
you
what
in a
kind of eyes
relationship?
they got. Don't couldn't even tell you their eye color. That blows me. And I mean,
Completely. But
it
they are vested though. They're
yeah,
vested.
technology is a bittersweet thing because of like with anything, it has its pros and it has its cons. But when you are investing a relationship and its main medium that you're getting through is channeling it through is social media, it can be a tricky game to play because, like you say, you don't know really if it's that person or even if it is that person. Some people let social media get to their head. Oh, I seen you liking this person's pictures, and now we argue for days on end, and our relationship is always almost always in an uproar. And the common denominator is social media. At
Mm-hmm.
the end of the day, really, it's the two people needing to know how to communicate and work through having social media while being together. But social media does play a part, and I feel like it's really up to the couple to make sure it's not a focus in the relationship.
Yeah. It's like it's like social media is that other person. You can be accused of cheating because you're chatting with somebody else or liking their photos or going through their posts. It's like that other
Where it
person
comes
that
down to
you're
what she was saying, though. What are your expectations in a relationship? Because if you expect your partner to not say this, because you consider that cheating, that has nothing to do with social media. That has everything to do with your partner and how they're chatting with this person, knowing that you might consider that cheating. You get what I mean?
yeah.
Some people might not, and again, that plays communication. That's something you need to sit with your partner and have. If you're emotionally available for somebody else, somebody might be like, oh, okay, that's not cheating. You guys didn't get physical. But another couple could be like, if you're emotionally giving yourself to a whole nother person and you're emotionally available there for that, like they might consider that stepping out in a way. Yeah.
But there again, having these conversations to find out what the other, person's views are. Yeah. It's yeah, it's different than yeah. I was shocked because I'm also a LPC, and I was shocked to learn because I do couples, and some are in relationships, and it's like they'll get into argument, and my thinking is verbally, but it's actually through text, and I, I'm old school. It's like it's not enough words for me to text it back and forth. I cannot see it. I can't text that fast. It's like what? You
We
in an
ain't
argument
arguing it.
through
If
text?
all I gotta do to stop the argument is set my phone down, that is we.
I'm like, wow. What happened to like the verbal? Like, but I don't know. Maybe it has its positives because maybe you're
I do,
allowed. You have
yeah,
that
So
processing time to read it
exactly. I was gonna say I do
and
feel like for some
process.
people,
Yeah,
sometimes people need that more. They run on a slower time. They
yeah.
need time to process, actually think of something to say back
Stay
without it.
back.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I can understand how it does again have its pros and have its cons. I just feel like it's
Hmm.
all about how that couple utilizes it and how they implement it in their relationship. If social media is like the end all be all, if you guys are always, or I see who you're liking and da 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 da, at some point they're
Hmm.
definitely going to be arguing in regards to social media.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes in that relationship, just put that phone down, concentrate on that other person, turn it off, you
Read a
know.
book together, that's fun. Let's bring reading back.
I know, right? Learn something. Yeah.
Learn me something. Let's stay off social media.
Mhm.
Uh,
you say read a book
Exactly.
together.
Yeah,
Yes.
you can sit and scroll on Twitter and TikTok for hours together. Why not?
Say it.
Hey, Smitty, I mean, that's you can. I mean, we
Rolling, rolling,
technology.
That's
rolling, rolling,
right.
rolling,
That's
rolling.
quality
Wait,
time.
Hey,
I gotta say
We're not
hey,
doing
this.
that. We're not gonna do that. We're not
I
gonna do
have to say this. I mean, I have to say this because think about it. What did we do before we had this? What did we do? I mean, we set up, we talked, we read books, we looked at movies. We
spent
did those
genuine
things.
quality time together without
So
your eyeballs on a screen. That
so
sounds so beautiful.
what did we do? I mean, you gotta keep it real. You gotta be honest. What
you
did we do before the age of
shaking your
technology?
head, but
Huh?
Yeah, I mean it's true, you know, and with that, that is quality time, right? Especially couples that may be long distance, right? Because everybody's not in the same area, but you have to find ways to stay connected, right? And those are ways that you can stay connected in the relationship, even FaceTime and doing something together that you both enjoy. It could be a puzzle, it could be watching your favorite show that you talk about, you watch it on a certain night.
They got
So
watch parties now. You
yeah,
can
Yeah.
you can watch movies together on Netflix with that
yeah,
person.
Mhm.
hmm yeah. So you have to get creative, and there's no formula, right? It's only what works for you and your partner once
Right.
you're, in that relationship, or you're starting a relationship. And the main thing is asking those questions, right? Finding out, having those. I heard back in the day they used to do like speed dating. I don't know if they still do it, where you have a list of questions that you ask the individual, and you see by at the end of the night, okay, who has kind of my same viewpoint, who am I kind of compatible with, and then those are the people that you later on will connect with and
Right.
see if it can move forward to anything meaningful. I mean, that's a way too. So yeah, vetting. They need to come up with a uh
okay,
like
I
a
have a
dating
question.
thing.
Application process. Yeah, like an
Yeah,
application.
like a dating thing that like regular people can afford and do, and have like mixers where you come together and do like speed dating and have certain questions, and then at the end it's left up to you to
Not
be
even gonna lie to
consistent
y'all.
in
I would
contact.
be terrified to try a speed
But
dating mixer today.
What?
you
Why?
that brings
Today,
up a question. But that
today
brings up a
with
question.
my generation, I'd be, hi, how are
Really?
you? Hi, yeah,
But,
wow.
but that brings up a question. How did we meet people? How did you meet people to even consider, oh, I'm gonna, where did
See,
you
it
meet?
wasn't the problem necessarily with physically being out and about meeting people. It's now how are the people that you're physically going out to meet. The mindset is so different nowadays. You know what I mean? These kids is kind of wild. And of course, that's not everybody, but you just really don't know the type of person you're going to get. And I have met a lot of people and know a lot of people who wear a good mask for you to get you, and then later on, it's like a whole flip flop type of situation.
Mm,
It's.
that's scary
Mm-hmm.
because that takes skill to be deceptive for a certain
Experience.
amount of
Yeah.
time. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
hmm To do that, that's kind of
No,
scary,
no.
and then
I,
that's purposeful too. So that's
yeah, very.
even more
Mhm.
scary. hmm Yeah. So I know as a woman,
We
for
have a
women,
question from
really have to be
the
careful.
audience.
Yeah, you cutting out,
You ready?
Kurt.
Uh, this is what is your perspective on age differences in in romantic relationships? That's the first question. What is your perspective on differences in romantic relationships?
Well, I'm just gonna assume they mean like a noticeably big age difference. To start,
So yeah,
I'd like to say that a lot of people, people are sometimes very naturally sexist. They have an easier time high fiving and dapping up the guy with a young girl on his arm, but when it's the other way around, they like to make jokes and giggle and hee hee and stuff like that. I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence about it because sometimes I'm like, well, what do you two really have in common? Like, what do you talk about? You know what I mean? But then I've come across couples with a good gap in age, and oddly, some have clicked. And I could not tell you how, why, but you could just see that they genuinely had the the thing. And so it's I guess it's just really down to that person. What were you searching out for that led you to a younger or older person? And then what kept you there? You know what I mean? I feel like that would say a lot about a person. So I think that's just really what it depends on.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with that. Your statement, you said, what really do they have in common? What really are they talking about? I mean, from my, you see the grace, so I'm up there. I had to really got to think about it. If that young person is interested in me, I'm like, whoa,
Why?
exactly do they want from me? I mean, there's a whole bunch of other
Naturally, that's just the
eligible.
first question.
Hmm?
Mhm. I said
Yes.
naturally, that's your first question.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So yeah, it's I mean, it works for some people, and if it works for you, great. If you find those things that's in common and y'all got the chemistry and you work together, that's great. But
Mhm.
me, I would just kind of be, being a little older guy, I'd be kind of suspect.
Mhm.
So
So the other question is, did you answer the other question, Fedora? The other part?
Yeah, you want me to ask it? Do you believe there are potential challenges
No,
or
I
benefits?
was gonna go into it. Do you?
Oh,
Yeah.
go ahead, Curtis.
Oh, I thought you asked the
Can you hear
question.
me?
I said, okay. So do you believe there are potential challenges or benefits associated with significant age gaps?
It's what challenges I feel like are going to come. Period. Well, I guess it depends on defined challenge, but if you're going to get backlash, of course, there's always going to be somebody who's going to have something to say about you with a younger or older person, especially when it's a significant age gap. There's always gonna be somebody that has something to say. That's just a fact. So
Mhm.
yeah, I do feel like there's challenges. Some people might treat you differently, some people might look at you differently. So you got to just kind of be prepared for that, knowing you're going in uh, with a significant age gap. As far as benefits, again, that's where it comes back to: did you approach this relationship with something in mind like that already? Because some people are going to be like, what would an older guy or gal or younger need with an older person? Maybe whatever benefits they could get for them. Of course, it's going to be beneficial to be with somebody who's older, assuming more stable and, have had life experiences. They're all set, money's good, stable life. They get to do this, business, travel. Some people are
Mhm.
like, I'm young, it's hard out here for a pimp. I want somebody to take care of me. So that could be why they're in that relationship, and to them that's beneficial, and to that
Yep.
person they might not care that that's why it initially happened that way, and they're all for it.
Mhm.
yeah,
Yep.
I gotta look at it. I don't think it's probably no more challenges than other, having an interracial couple. I mean, I think you're gonna be dealing with the same things, but mostly, it's what first of all, we got to get out of it. I really don't care about what you think about us. So if you get out of that, I think that will help you deal with it, because you're gonna have those looks, those snickers. You're gonna have that. But if you get out of that mindset of, who cares what you guys think about us? We're going to do this,
Yep.
you know, and
Yeah, and I mean, sometimes that's easier said than done because, play devil's advocate. Sometimes it's your family or close friends that are like, now I'm looking at you differently and I want to take a step back. So, yeah, you might have that mindset like, oh, okay, I don't care what people think. I'm okay. This is what I want to do. But at the same time, I'm losing
If it's
friends,
your
I'm losing
family. Mhm.
family. It is a challenge still, regardless if you do have that I don't care what people think type of attitude.
Yeah. Yeah. That's true. You could lose some stuff.
I'll give them
So,
deuces. Be like, see ya.
Listen, I didn't
yeah.
say I wouldn't.
It's still gonna hurt your heart though, regardless. It'll
know,
still, yeah, it'll still sting
it's a
at
law.
some point.
Loss is a loss. You still gonna feel it.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, you'll feel it. So another question, and this goes back to the old school and the new generation of dating. Do you prefer the traditional approach to dating over this new modern approach? Would you like to go back to the uh, traditional approach?
So I I will, as a older gentleman in society, I would prefer the old school. But if you're going to even have any semblance of a relationship now, you're gonna have to be able to adapt and evolve. You're not gonna, because that technology driven now, you're gonna have to get immersed. You're gonna have to be a part of it. If you want if you want to have the opportunity to find that diamond in the rough that's out there, find that person that's compatible with you, because that's where we are moving as a society. So you're gonna have to adapt. I would prefer the old school, but you would have to adapt and move, and adapt to the times.
Yeah.
For
What you
some
say, Roger? Uh-oh.
Either, either.
Everybody mute their mic. Let's see. Go ahead, Roger.
um, I would say a blend for the simple fact, going back straight the old school. I think in every generation or every era or every trend, there are always something that could be made better. And there were a lot of things that were the norm then in the dating scene or in relationships that weren't good. And I feel like, particularly being raised in a Black community, and a lot of things were taboo to talk about or taboo to do or to break up or to do this or to not. And so I feel like a lot of what is traditionally accepted then wasn't always necessarily healthy or good or what the relationship needed. It was just the way to do things then. You get what I mean? So I do feel like it has some pros, but all the way going back the old school way, I don't think it would blend well with the new day and age. I feel like a nice mix. And again, it also comes back to talking with your partner. What are your expectations? Do you expect to be 50-50? Do you want to be taken care of? Those conversations need to be had so we kind of know what we're doing. But I think, me personally, I like a nice blend. I like having that independence to get out and work, make my own money, but coming back to the chivalry thing, I don't mind a door being open for me on occasion, a rose being brought home a time or two, but I'm more for a blend of the two.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Um. So, both of you, what are your beliefs and thoughts about these changing dynamics and expectations, like you was mentioning before, in dating, especially with the financial stability aspect of it? So that's a good segue because you mentioned it.
Ooh, the changing. I mean, we're ever evolving as human beings, men and women. We're evolving. The old traditional ways of the man goes out and makes the money and the woman is in the house. Those old stereotypes are going away, and the relationships now, I think, more not necessarily 50-50. It could be 40-30 or 70,
Right.
60-40. Just depends on the day and the time. But I think, you know, we're still, as a society, I think we still are living with, we haven't redefined those gender roles because society is changing, but we still, those male and female gender roles have not evolved to our current, to our current time in
I don't
technology.
think it's necessarily that they didn't evolve. I think because it's 2024, they've blended.
Thing blended.
They've blended. It is a different day and age. Gender roles will be a thing of the past because they've blended. Males take on this that were usually considered the more of the female role, and the females will take on more of this, what was considered more of the male role. a lot of the gender roles have been not necessarily reversed, just blended. Like now it's not looked at as, oh, the man is supposed to do that all the time. It's okay if I do that. I'm independent. I can do it. It's okay. So I think they've blended so much that people don't really have a norm to look for anymore. Like what's the standard today? And there isn't one because of how blended everything is.
Yeah, I agree with that. And
Yeah.
and everyone's household is different, right? And it goes back to preference and what works for you and yours. Because sometimes it's better with childcare, the cost of childcare for either if the woman is making the a lot of the money and the husband is not making as much. So whose income would you say, okay, we'll do without, you stay home with the kids if they're, not school age yet, until they're school age. I go to work the full time. I do the brunt of it, and then you stay home with the kids. Otherwise, one somebody's paycheck is going to go toward childcare if both
Right.
parents are working. So why kill yourself with that when you could teach them and do those developmental skills at home and get that quality time with your own child until
Right.
they become school age, and then when they're that pre-K going in, then it's like, okay, you have that plan. Okay, I'll go back in to the workforce now that the kids are in school and it doesn't cost us anything. So
And I
it's just
think,
what works.
but I think that's harder for the younger generation. Things are expensive, I mean, inflation. So we really
You let
can't say
everybody
one
know,
person
please.
stays at home. You have to get out and work, and my hats off to the younger generation dealing with this economy and this society. I'm I'm at a point where I'm like, stable, and I don't really have to, but I really kind of, how do the younger generation make it? How do they make
Right.
it in the dating scene?
Yeah.
So it's definitely hard out there.
I was just scrolling through Twitter. A girl said her rent was 1,200 and her child care is 1,600 a month. I said,
Ooh,
how do you pay
Jesus.
both? How do you pay both? Like, it's a genuine question. How do you pay both? There is absolutely no way.
Mm-mm.
There is absolutely no way. 1,600 is more than her rent,
That's crazy.
and it's
Yeah.
both every month.
Yeah.
Mm.
Young girl too. So I was. It's crazy out here.
And that in itself is also a impact to dating. I mean, if you got those
Yeah,
pressures of making a living, and and then with your expectation, I mean, I may be that single father having trouble. I want, hey, let me find somebody who's stable, financial, that can help me.
Mhm.
What am I looking for? And I think that kind of drives
that,
people.
or some people take on the adverse effect where they're like, I can't even see myself dating because I don't have all my shit together.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
Mhm.
then before they knew it, all their good years
Are
behind them.
gone.
Exactly. So both ways is kind of sad because it's like at one point you're kind of like, I'm looking for somebody so they can help me get through life. At this point, I just need somebody to help me. And then the other
Mhm.
hand is I couldn't even picture bringing somebody into what I'm stressed out about already.
Mhm. Exactly. Yeah. It's hard out there. My hat's off to everybody that's in the dating scene because, yeah,
I'm
I'm
tired,
getting
boss.
off the playground. I'm running
What you say?
home.
What you say? It's
I'm
hard
tired.
out there for a pimp. It's hard.
I'm tired, boss. Tag me out. Get somebody else to do it.
Okay. Uh, so, last question from your generational perspective, what advice would you give to people navigating this dating world today?
Leave social media out of it and
Huh?
actually leave social media out of every
Mm.
aspect as much as you can and actually physically spend quality time with your person so you can see if that is your person.
Yeah.
Because people just been coupling up and living lives and having kids with people they know absolutely nothing about.
Sure.
Yeah, I would say, I mean, I agree with that wholeheartedly. Get back to face, at
Yeah.
least sometime. Talk to them. Put the phone down when you're out on a date. Turn it off. Put it in your pocket. Don't put it on the table. I read somewhere I read somewhere when if you're out with someone and your phone is displayed, you're telling that other person that they are not the main point of your attention. You
Yep.
know, put that phone away, you know, because that phone is a distraction because you're not listening. You can't pay attention to both of them because when it buzzes, you're gonna pick it up. So you're not listening what you're not listening to what your date is saying. You're like, oh man, let me like, oh okay, what did you say?
Clearly, I don't got all your attention if you waiting on whatever phone call you waiting on, friend. You
Exactly.
know?
My advice would be to, you know, to get back, man, you know, get back to personal, get back to the face to face.
Sometimes it's okay to just go the old school route. You know, it's all right to just take that nice long walk around the park after dark. You feel me?
Yeah. But you know, I don't walk that much, so we got to sit out on the patio and talk.
He said we ain't got to do no cardio. We can take a pop spot right here.
Fedora.
We ain't got to have no cardio.
The night air is nice.
Yeah.
Look at the stars. Yeah. Talk about,
Hey, Fedora.
what you need. Yeah. What you say, Curtis? You have a bad delay. We're gonna get you and your
You have
internet
a
right.
question for each. Yeah. Well, here's the question. If, just look at your phone and you can help me out with this.
Oh, okay.
Oh
Um,
God.
the question is, are you currently in search of a significant other? And if so, why do you believe you haven't met Mr. or Mrs. Right for you?
Um, I am currently newly dating someone. So
You got it?
I huh? What you say?
Hello?
I don't know if anybody can hear. I don't know if anybody can hear me, but I'll just keep it going.
I can hear
Yeah,
Um,
you.
I can hear you.
Yeah.
uh, so I mean, as far like personally, what are my expectations? I mean, I'll reiterate what I said earlier. It's just kind of what everybody's looking for, but nobody's really been wanting to give is just the authenticity, being genuine, being considerate, having some courtesy, you know, wanting to actually spend time with me. I want somebody to like me before we feel like we got to jump to the love me. You know what I mean? So it's just kind of more of that. Do we actually vibe together? Do we enjoy each other's company? Do we have things in common? If we don't, are the things we don't have in common going to bother us? You know, it's really about getting to know somebody. And I feel like a lot of the issue that I personally was coming across is people judge a book by the cover. They see one thing and they expect something else, you know, and then when you show that that's kind of not how I am or what I'm about, it's easy to kind of be like step back, or they kind of, you know, so it's like, okay, that not gonna beat a dead horse. We're gonna leave that where that's at. But yeah.
Rolling.
Huh. So now he's gonna ask me that.
Rolling.
I'm at a point in my life where I'm good. I'm content. I would love to date. I would love to meet somebody, but I'm not rushing and running out there trying to find it.
Felt.
I mean, I've been through and I've experienced enough where I'm good in myself, you know. So I could date and I could not date. I mean, I'm happy with me. I
That's
love
what
me
it's
some me, like they say. I love me some me.
Hey, everywhere you go, there you are. You better.
I ain't asking me. hey, hey, for those that's texting and asking me to answer that question, that's the answer to our
What?
producer too. That's my answer to what Roland said.
Oh, you so full of
Oh,
it.
don't even try.
So full of it. You can't copy paste.
I'm saying, Curtis, give a straight answer. I'll answer it.
I like what Roland said. That's a good answer, Roland.
No, we don't. That
He
is a
said,
good
I
answer
love
for
me.
Roland.
I want somebody to experience loving me with me, and if not, that's fine. That's his answer.
I'm just
So what's your answer, Curtis?
I'm just finding me right now. I've compromised a lot in my life, and I just need to find me right now. So uh, you know, when that person comes along, I'll know. But right now, I'm just finding me and enjoying
Working on
life.
yourself.
That's all I'm saying. Not to say that that
Well,
Okay.
you
person
should.
is not there.
Hmm.
Uh,
You're working on yourself right now.
like I said, I compromised a lot, and it took a lot of it. Yeah, it took a lot out of me. So right now, I'm just enjoying life and trying to find me again. And then once I can make me happy, then I'm going to make somebody else happy. Does that answer your
There
question?
you go. All right.
That's a great
That's
There you go.
answer.
good.
Hmm.
Yep. That's a good answer. Thank you for not taking the cop out route.
Copy
So that's
paste.
good. That was that was heartfelt, Curtis. I'm proud of you. Yes. Work on
That's
you,
a
Curtis. Work
great
on
answer.
you. That's right. So you can be there
Oh
when
Lord.
your mission right comes. That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Good. All right. Well, any final thought or comment?
No.
No, nothing. Really, just really feeding off what he said. That was actually a pretty good answer. That's really where it starts, is working on yourself, loving yourself, and then when you're happy, then you can be happy with somebody else.
That's it.
Well, I tell you, keep hope alive.
Thank,
There it is.
thank you.
Mhm.
Oh, now you all.
Yeah.
Whatever. It was a good answer. I'll give you that. It was good. It was nice.
Now they can
Y'all
leave me
get
alone.
Hey, Curtis. When you find yourself, let me know. I got somebody I'm gonna send your way.
You might be wherever he at. Go on. He's also when you find yourself. You lost with him.
Yeah.
and I would just add to
All right.
that.
That'll
I know
work.
I would just add to that for anybody that is in any relationship, marriage as well, that it is not someone else's responsibility to make you happy. You have to find happiness within yourself and know what happiness is for you. So you cannot put that responsibility on your partner or anyone else to do. And that includes whatever relationship you're in. It can be family, whatever. You have to find your own happiness.
I
It's
agree.
not someone else's responsibility. That was just a little tidbit.
Thank you. Very good.
All right.
All right. Well, thank you so much for taking time out to have this discussion with us. I think it's a very much needed discussion. And I think next it will be a good step is to find out how to get like minded people meeting who would like to actually date, you know?
Take it serious and
Yeah.
I think
really
we
see
all
how it goes. Be neat. A nice little project. And see what we can do.
Yeah.
thank you all for having me on. I hope there's somebody out there that may got some kind of positive perspective out of this, and they may find that one person and say, "Hey, we watched those guys on 915, and thank you." So
I hope the same.
Thank
I hope people just sit and kind of think a little bit more before they make impulsive decisions, especially when those decisions alter your life.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
yeah,
And ask
thank
the
you guys.
hard questions up front.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Thank you guys. I appreciate it.
Thank you for spending time with us. Thank you.
Anytime, anytime.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Have a good rest of your Sunday.
All right,
all
good
right.
evening.
Thank you.
All right. Bye. All right, Curtis.
All right, Fedora.
We have some event.
I'm back. Maybe. Yeah.
Finally. You need to get your Wi-Fi fixed, man.
Hey, I'm supposed to have a better internet.
You need to tell them you need some
Yes,
money back.
you might have to go back. I'm gonna have to go back to the office. Yeah, yeah. I need my money back. Yeah.
Mhm.
But let's get into what's happening in El Paso. What's going on?
Okay. So let's see. We have Fly Events Promotion. It presents their eighth annual Know Your Worth fashion show.
Fly event promotion.
hmm The Renaissance. It's
Yep.
going to be April the 27th. That's next
April
weekend.
27th. Ooh, that's this
Mhm.
Saturday.
Yep. At 5 p.m. And it's
Mm-hmm.
going to be at EPCC, the ASC Building A, which is at 950 Viscount Boulevard, El Paso, Texas. Uh, VIP tables are sold uh, and are on sale, but tickets, oh, they're sold out, but tickets are still available to, come to the show. Go to flyeventspromotions.com for more information and see how you can get those tickets. Our next one is Nicole Hector is a facialist and self-care aficionado. She invites you to hear to her annual soiree, along with other offerings, personalized services. So she's also the 2023 and the first Black El Paso Voice Pinnacle Award recipient, as she embodies business and community. The self care event for 2024 takes place on May 19th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m.
If you're
And
tired,
they are also looking for sponsors, collaborators, vendors, and exhibitors in the health, wellness, and beauty industries. Um, so you don't have to be local to El Paso to be a part of the event. They have plenty of ways you can collaborate with them on this event. So visit Facebook and Instagram at OPULENT Skin Suite. So that's Opulent Skin Suite. Our next one, go ahead, Curtis. Oh,
Beware the Day, Black History and Culture with Ryan O. Adams. Tune in live every time. Beware the Day at Beware the Day. Uh, check
hashtag
out
Beware the Day.
Mr. Ryan Adams.
All right. If you haven't already signed up for updates about Amplify El Paso at amplifyelpaso.com, amplifying our voices and our stories. They will feature a special announcement tomorrow evening. So make sure you go to amplifyelpaso.com to check it out. We also have our Black business. Submit your listing at no cost on
Yep.
elpasoblackpages.com.
It's the,
It is El
it's the
Paso's
free one, right?
official, hmm
Okay.
free 99. It's our official Black business directory. So please go on there and submit your listing.
Free 99.
Also, the Black Information Exchange. The Black
The Black
Information,
Information Exchange.
hmm it's available for you to submit your information. So go
Yep.
to blackinformationexchange.com. Also,
Yep. That's where you can put
get
all your
ready.
information about what's going on with your organizations too.
Get ready, get ready. Save the date, El Paso. Juneteenth takes place on June the 15th at Tobin Park. Information, vendor spots are free to organizations that are nonprofit. I repeat that. Vendor spots are free to organizations that are nonprofit. Vendor booths, advertising, and sponsorship are available. The deadline is fast approaching, so if you're interested in performing or if you have a Juneteenth committee event, let us know. Go to epjuneteenth.com. I'll repeat, epjuneteenth.com, or you can email juneteenthelpaso@gmail.com for more information. June 15th, 2024. All right. What else you got to say, Curtis?
Yeah.
Or can you speak
Hey,
now? Cause
we want to congratulate. Say again.
no, go ahead.
I didn't hear you.
Go ahead.
I just said I want to congratulate our producer for being inducted into the El Paso Women's Hall of Fame. Yeah.
Yes.
So she was inducted into the El Paso's Women's Hall of Fame. Congratulations to Ms. Monica Tucker and all of those
Woo-hoo.
ladies that were inducted a couple of weeks ago.
Mm,
Congratulations to you all. Job well done for the El Paso community. Um,
yeah.
yeah, it was an early day.
Mhm.
Our next show is May the 5th. May the 5th. So if you'd like to be on the show, remember no topic is taboo. Just reach out to me or Fedora and let us know what you want to talk about. Or if you want to be on the show to have the discussion, just we welcome you to come on out and have a discussion like we did today with this series with generational wealth and and with the Instagram things going on in Facebook and all that stuff. So I don't have anything else, Fedora.
No, me either, Curtis.
Yeah. Okay.
So
So before we leave,
good.
what you got for the people?
Well, you know what I always say: keep love in your heart, keep yourself safe, and yeah, for those of you in the dating scene, don't be discouraged. Just you know, if you have the time and the space, be consistent and be honest. Be upfront and ask the hard questions. And if a person can't take those hard questions, then keep it moving. You'll find your diamond in the rough. There's still hope. You will. I mean, I found mine. I
Have
found my
patience.
king. So, yep.
Have
And a
patience.
whole lot of
Have
prayer.
patience.
Have patience
Don't
and
just take
prayer.
it. Yeah.
And you don't have to settle,
Yeah.
but
Well,
know your worth and who you are. Work on yourself. Make sure you're whole so you can present yourself, you know, as somebody who you know what you need and know what you want. So have your stuff together.
right.
Yep.
Yeah.
What you got, Curtis?
Yeah. So I don't have anything today. I just want to say, hey, thank y'all for tuning in. Enjoy your summer. Summer's coming. Summer's here. Is it here or is it approaching? And
It's
remember,
been hot,
COVID is still
so it's
out there.
coming.
People are still catching COVID.
What?
Yeah, people are still catching COVID. So be careful. Yes, people are still
Mm.
catching COVID. So like,
Oh,
be careful of being around large groups of people that
you
uh,
don't know.
uh, are not taking care of themselves and don't have the COVID shot or have low immune systems. Just be careful and watch yourself and watch your surroundings. Uh, and then just remember, COVID is still out there. Don't get
Yeah.
too complacent with it because people are still catching COVID. I was shocked too.
Mm.
So just be careful and just say, hey, have a good weekend, have a blessed week. Be safe out
Yeah.
there in El Paso and surrounding areas. And we'll see you on May
Oh,
5th.
May 5th. And also, if you're not registered to vote, don't forget to register to vote so you can vote in May. I don't know if it's the deadline, but go to
Oh, that's right. Register to vote. Register to vote.
epcountyvotes.com. epcountyvotes.com. Go there. I think you can check to see if you're still registered or to register or find out the information what you need. Remember, your vote is important. Your voice
Right.
matters. So do it. All right. Peace.